Hello everybody, this is Aravind Mohan and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we'll discuss two major updates. One, all the delayed infrastructure projects are now being questioned by a Prime Minister. We'll take a look at that. In the second update, more related to business, the Indian automobile manufacturers had a face-off with government related to auto GST. We'll do an overview summary with some research analysis also on that. Alright, so these two are the topics, and if you're not yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe so that you will get my daily updates. Let's get into the show. Honorable Prime Minister of India has ordered the Cabinet Secretary to submit a dossier in a week's time for all delayed infrastructure projects. On Wednesday, the Prime Minister flagged this issue of delay of all infrastructure project completion in the PRAGATI meeting that he chaired. First thing we all should understand is what is PRAGATI. Yeah, because existence of such platform is not known to everybody in the country, and these are all meant to ensure that all the taxpayers' money is used for the infrastructure projects or other projects for development of the nation. Well, PRAGATI stands for Proactive Governance and Timely Implementation. So as the name suggests, so it is to ensure that there is a proper monitoring, tracking, and grievance redressal of all the ongoing projects. This initiative was launched in the year 2015. Well, in this meeting, we'll have the Prime Minister who will chair this meeting along with the Cabinet Secretaries and the Chief Secretary from all the states. Yeah, so this meeting happens on every last Wednesday of the month. In fact, that day is called as a PRAGATI Day. Well, this is something new, very interesting, right? Yeah, even I found it very interesting. So this platform uses what they call it as ICT, Information Communication Technology, and this combines three major technology. One, the data management of all the ongoing projects. Number two, video conferencing, where all of these stakeholders are present and rightly questioned. Third, this also has what they call it as geospatial technology. Yeah, so the idea is to ensure that there is a proper tracking mechanism where all of these data are monitored one by one, more like where we have, the monthly status report. It is more like that, where each of these project summary is being submitted to the Prime Minister, and wherever it is off the track, it is questioned and brought back to the track of closure of project on time. Yesterday happened to be the 4th Wednesday of August, and as always, Prime Minister chaired the PRAGATI meeting. Report says that in this meeting, so it was the second topic that was discussed, where it says that Prime Minister was very unhappy with the delay that is there for all the infrastructure projects. Yeah, so immediately he ordered all the Cabinet Secretaries to submit a dossier within a week's time explaining the reason for all of these delays. It did not stop with that. He ordered the Cabinet Secretaries to also identify the officers and the agencies which is responsible for this delay. So what are the projects? So there are two projects which they talk about. One is a railway project, other is on the road. So with the railway projects, it is called as WDFC, which stands for Western Dedicated Freight Corridor. This is a project that was started in 2006, which connects Dadri from Uttar Pradesh to the Jawaharlal Airport in Navi Mumbai. The overall distance goes as high as 1,483 kilometers. So a report says that when the project was reviewed a few months back, the total cost of it was somewhere around 2,000 crores. But now it looks like in this review, it is not only the timeline that is shifted, it's not only the delay, but also the cost has gone as high as 6,000 crores. So long story short, government has clear vision on development of infrastructure. Now that we see that a lot of such infrastructure projects are delayed due to a number of reasons, it could be the Prime Minister of India is questioning them, not only to submit the reason, but also bring in the officers and the agencies which is responsible for the delay. Now we'll move to the next update. Mr. R.C. Bhargava, the chairman of Maruti Suzuki India Limited, and Mr. Venu Srinivasan, the managing director and chairman of TVS Motors India Limited, they need no introduction in India. So they raised a concern about very high GST rate for automobiles. This was discussed during the 61st annual convention of SIAM. SIAM is Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers. This also had the participation of CEO of Niti Aayog, also along with the Revenue Secretary from Ministry of Finance, Tarun Bajaj. First, we look at the argument from the automobile manufacturer's point of view. Then we look at the response that was given by the government and the homework items. First thing is the GST rate. The GST rate in India for automobile is almost double when you compare that with that of US or European Union, or you see in Japan. Yeah, and on the other side is also the income level of a common Indian man. So this combination makes it very difficult to increase the penetration rate of car buyers in India. So what is the penetration rate? We look at some data. So here is where we have listed the list of people who own a car for 1,000 individuals. If you look at India, it is in the range of 29, which means for every 1,000 individual in the country, there are only 29 people who own a car. When you look at that against most of the developed countries, if you look at US, it is in the range of 980. In UK, it is 850. Similarly, New Zealand is in the order of 774. Australia is at 740. Canada is at 660. China is at 164 for comparison. This penetration rate makes real sense for the sale of the vehicle. Only when the penetration rate increases, then it means that we will be able to increase the sales. So this is the main concern which was put forward by R.C. Bhargava. So what are the challenges that are there for Indian car manufacturers? First challenge is with respect to tax. More the tax, lesser they buy. This is the first point. Second point is with respect to the norms. But recently, as you know, in 2020, there was this BS6 norm that has come in, which has made the cost of an affordable car little higher because the car manufacturer had to stick to the norms that are set by the government. All right, so these norms are much required, of course. Now, this also comes with a price tag, which in the end goes to the end customer. So all these makes the sales less likely. So this is one major challenge. Now, the second update we should see is all these problems only due to COVID? Well, we'll look at the data again. So here we have the sales figures year on year of the total passenger car sales. So when we talk about automobile industry, we don't restrict to passenger cars. In general, it is inclusive of two-wheeler, three-wheeler, and also the commercial segment, the commercial vehicles. But today, we are talking only about passenger car for ease of understanding. If you look at the total sales of car, the bar chart that you see, we'll consider from 2014. In 2014, the total sale of passenger car was in the range of 2.9 million, which started increasing gradually. Year on year, the increase was somewhere around 6.5 to 7.5%, which moved to 3.1 million, then 3.3 million, then it went to 3.7 million. This happened in 2017, and the trend went till 2018. But in 2019, you see a dip. From 4 million cars that were sold in 2018, in 2019, it went down to 3.5 million cars, which means that the growth year on year was going in a downward trend. It went down to minus 11.43%. Now, this is pre-COVID. Then in the year 2020, there's nothing to discuss about because that is where COVID had come in, and this has brought down the sales even more. Even this 2.9 million cars that you see which is sold in 2020, major of the sale happened in the first quarter before the major advent of COVID in India. Then post that, the sale was tremendously affected. So this is the downward trend which was there for overall car sales. In 2021, we have not added the report here in the chart because the year is still not over, but it does not look really green. What are the main takeaways from the chart that you see? First takeaway we see is that this problem of poor car sales did not happen because of COVID, but it started even before this. COVID aggravated the downward trend. It made it even more bad. Number two, the growth of car sale was on an increasing trend in the past, but in the recent years, it is not in an increasing trend. Well, when we discuss this, we all would have one question in our mind. For EV cars, anyways, there is a rebate, the tax is lowered, and why not to focus on this? Here is also an answer related to this, which R.C. Bhargava has given. Well, today, if you look at EV cars, it is not affordable. In his remark, he has told that we have to wait until we can make EV cars more affordable for a common man in India. Now we look at the response that was given by Tarun Bajaj, the Revenue Secretary from Finance Ministry. The first thing is when you give more and more reduction in GST, then he said it will come back and haunt us because this would affect the revenue for the country. Second point that he mentioned is that he gave this as a homework item to SIAM to look and find out why there is a less sales, because it is not something that happened due to COVID, but it is something that we have even before this. So if you look at the trend right from 2018, 2019, this is where the downward trend started. So he has given this as a homework item also to SIAM to retrospect, look into it and find out what are the key reasons why there is a decline of sale. Probably the reason is something else and might not be because of tax. And the second feedback that was given is to see if it is possible to reduce the spend on royalty and not just on tax. So here, this was the main debate discussion that happened between the automobile manufacturer and the government of India. These are the main debate points that was discussed between the government and the automobile manufacturer. The major challenge for automobile industry is the shortage of semiconductor. Now, what is the shortage of semiconductor is a big topic by itself. I will take it separately in a session with more data to say what led to this shortage of semiconductor and how it affects the automobile industry. Alright, so these are the main updates that I wanted to share with you. Hope you liked it. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And what is your view about Indian automobile industry and what it can do differently to get the business back? You leave your thoughts in comments. I'll be more than happy to read this. Alright, thank you. See you all tomorrow. Cheers. Bye-bye.